From Studio 3B in New York, here again is Jane Pauley.
Fame can be a lot easier to win than it is to hold on to. Many a household name wore out their welcome and went the way of a polyester leisure suit. In fact, in showbiz, it's probably true that the hotter the flame burns, the faster it burns out. There are, however, exceptions to that rule, and one name comes to mind. In fact, she's among a handful of stars known by just one name. Her name is Cher.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay.
I've been notorious, I've been infamous, I've been famous for being famous, and I've done some really good work. And it's all kind of thrown in there. I'm very messy. I'm a very messy icon.
She's a pop culture phenomenon, all right. An admirer once observed that Cher has more lives than a cat. Someone who wasn't made a similar observation.
It wasn't meant to be a compliment, but I absolutely took it like this. After a nuclear holocaust, there will be cockroaches and Cher. And so I feel that that's, there's some validity to that.
60s pop idol, 70s TV personality, 80s movie star.
Snap out of it!
Cher has been a constant in a business where fame is a very perishable commodity.
Fame is done with smoke and mirrors. I'm the person that when I'm hot is the new and improved Cher, and when I'm not is the old and tired Cher.
The latest Cher is a just-released CD, her first in 5 years. It's a man's world? What kind of a title is that?
Well, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It is a man's world, but that doesn't really mean anything. I like men, I feel badly for them in some ways.
Which ways?
Well, I can wear pants and a dress, and it goes all the way in. I mean, men have a harder time jumping from soft side to hard side, and they're very vulnerable, and they're very tender, and they're not strong.
Baby, I'm yours.
Cher's taste in men has tended toward younger guys, sometimes much younger, like rock musician Richie Sambora, actor Val Kilmer, and most recently, Rob Camilletti. At the moment, she's uncharacteristically between relationships.
What these days is the age range that appeals to you?
The truth is, and I've said this before, older men don't like me. I mean, I would go out with anybody. I don't care if they were 80. If they were cool, it wouldn't make any difference.
But young men aren't intimidated by your success and persona?
I guess not. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I go out and hold a gun to their head and say, you're going out with me. Old men are just too nervous about what it is that I'm going to say, or, that I'm going to tie them up in the bedroom, or who knows what they're afraid of. It's like, oh, here she comes.
Yes, Lita.
But they're still looking. Esquire magazine will feature her in its annual Women We Love issue, and the feeling's mutual.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live. My mom said to me, sweetheart, one day you should settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man. My experience with men is great because I pick them because I like them. I don't need them.
Cher is rich, and not all her millions come from movies and records. She's made a fortune in real estate, buying or building magnificent homes and then turning them over for a tidy profit. The New York Times reported recently she's done this 16 times in the last 20 years. There was this Beverly Hills mansion and another showplace in Aspen. There's also the mail-order business, home furnishings for people who have her taste, but not her money. In the classic Horatio Alger tradition, she's come a very long way. Born Sherilyn Sarkeesian, her parents split up when she was just an infant. Destitute, her mother took her to an orphanage in Philadelphia.
I didn't live with my mother until I was 3 years old. There are all kinds of things about me that no one knows, but go to make me who I am.
What do you remember? Do you have any memories?
No, I don't have any memories, but because because of that, and thank God I know about that now, I would wake up, of course I chose a job where I'm in a different hotel room every night, right? But I would wake up, even at home, and wonder where I was and who I was.
The wonder of it is, of course, that today nobody doesn't know who Cher is, though her star has been a little low on the horizon lately.
Where have you been and why?
I have done this throughout my career. I'm very, very visible, and then I'm gone, and then I'm very, very visible, and then I'm gone, because it's too hot. It's too hot near the light sometimes. It's just too much, and I just can't deal with it all the time.
113, take one.
Cher's step out of the spotlight has not been entirely by choice. She struggled with chronic fatigue syndrome for several years and turned down some great parts. Susan Sarandon's role in Thelma and Louise, and the Kathleen Turner role in War of the Roses.
What did you do with my cat?
In recent years, her highest visibility has been as a pitch woman for a line of hair care products.
And my agent was saying, this is not a good career move, this is not a good career move. And I just said, oh, don't be ridiculous. You're so silly. I can do anything. I'm Cher. And all of a sudden, it's like, that's the only thing that anyone can remember about me, that, that everything else has vanished, and I just did these cheesy infomercials,
You think it was a mistake?
Oh, yeah, it was a gigantic mistake.
Bearing in mind she made millions of dollars, the infomercials may not have been a brilliant career move, but she stayed in the major leagues so long by making more right moves than wrong. Her durability is no fluke. What exactly do we mean by durability? Cher began her career 34 years ago, at the age of 16. Get a pencil, add it up. Yes, this is what 50 looks like. It hardly seems possible. Rewind the videotape. She was just 16 when she met 27-year-old Sonny Bono, her next-door neighbor. She told him she was 18. She told her mother something else.
I lied to my mother when I was 16 and told her I was living with a stewardess and threw all of Sonny's clothes out the window and lost almost all of his clothes after a month of living with him, because every time my mother came over, I threw everything out the window. And he was going, where are my damn clothes? What's happening?
Still a teenager when international stardom struck, Cher was ready.
It was the thing that I dreamed about when I was perfecting my autograph when I was 12, I knew I was going to need it someday. And so it just seemed like, okay, well, this is how it comes in.
Sonny and Cher rode the shifting currents of pop culture for a dozen years, changing clothes with the times. When the beat slowed down, they retooled their act and traded hippie chic for svelte and sophisticated.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sonny and Cher.
In the early 70s, a summer replacement variety hour vaulted them into prime time for 3 years.
I'm blessed with a nice wife, and also I'm blessed with a wonderful singing voice.
Well, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
The act was playing well everywhere but at home. The marriage dissolved in 1975, and Sonny and Cher went their separate ways. Cher to Las Vegas, where she could earn $300,000 a week. Her signature style became her signature style, outrageous and funky, long before Madonna jumped on the bandwagon.
I'm different, but I'm different to such a degree sometimes that it makes people uncomfortable, including myself.
Oh, do go on about that.
No, because I could do it a lot safer. I could do it a lot more planned, but it's not me, I mean, careful is, I don't know what, careful to me is like the least, that's like way down on my list of things to be.
Not playing it safe has been profitable. She's a gutsy actress. In her first major film role, she played a lesbian opposite Oscar winner Meryl Streep.
If you believe that, you're even crazier than people say.
Silkwood turned doubters into believers.
Yeah, I had it done.
4 years later, her performance in Moonstruck made her the Oscar winner.
I said I'd go to the opera with you, but that's all.
Somehow harder to picture is Cher's real-life role as a devoted mom. Elijah, son from her very brief marriage to rocker Greg Allman, is almost 20. And Chastity Bono is 27. A writer for The Advocate, gay and lesbian news magazine, she waited a long time to tell her mother she was gay.
Did she come out to you first before she came out publicly?
Well, she came out to me after she'd come out to everybody in the universe, you know, but she was afraid, and rightly so. I didn't take it so well. I was very unmotherly for about 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
This surprises me a lot.
It surprised me a lot, too.
What happened? What'd she say? What'd you say?
Well, I actually found out that everybody in our family knew but me, and so I was pissed and hurt. And it took me about really 24 hours to kind of settle and not be hurt and not be embarrassed, and also to wonder how it was going to affect Cher. You know, I was very surprised at myself for that, you know, like, well, what will people think, and how does this affect me? And after we talked about it, it was very apparent to me that I could really have a belief that I really believed in, and that it didn't make any difference to me whatsoever.
They say we're young and we don't know.
Daughter Chastity is just about all Cher has in common with Sonny these days. He's left showbiz, though some would argue the point, for politics.
A former singer with 10 gold records to his credit, Congressman Sonny Bono.
After all these years, it's still hard to think of Sonny without Cher. And despite the occasional acrimony, is it possible that's how it is for them, too?
No matter what he says about me and no matter what I say about him, there's some sort of a bond that...
They still love each other?
You know, if push came to shove, absolutely. Because we were more than husband and wife, you know. We were watching each other's back for a lot of years. And even though I don't agree with so many things that he does or says, there is a core of him, like I've known him since he was a baby, and so I forgive him anything, you know, almost.
They've been apart now longer than they were together. For almost 20 years, Cher has been a solo act with a dual-edged persona, vulnerable and tough.
Are you insecure?
Oh, absolutely. But I also have another side that's just willing to go, you know. Sure, you want me to stand out in front of 100,000 people and sing? I can do that, you know. Sure, you want me to go act? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll go play with Meryl Streep. What the hell? How bad can it be?
A bundle of insecurities wrapped in total self-confidence. She might have her mother to thank for that.
My mother just said, you're not going to be the prettiest, you're not going to be the youngest, you're not going to be the most talented. But whatever you have, if you put those things together, you have something special.
We spoke with Congressman Sonny Bono after our interview with Cher. Though he did not echo her sentiments, he did wish her well. And we learned this week that there could be another Bono in Congress, as Chastity has expressed interest in running for political office herself.